I love it when manufacturers introduce new equipment, particularly when it's something replacing a very, very popular model. So in today's video, I'm going to review the MIzuno JPX 921 hot metal. I'm going to compare it against the 919 hot metal, which was hugely popular, still continues to be popular. I'm going to run through what MIzuno are claiming with the upgrade from 919 to 921, and we're going to see, does it actually do what MIzuno say? Hi guys, I'm Ali Taylor down at IRONS Reach, and like I said, I really love it when manufacturers bring out new equipment. I think anything that gives golfers a better opportunity to play good golf is good. I think very often there's some huge claims made with new equipment and not always see that in the results, but there's some very interesting subtle changes and claims from MIzuno as to why the 921 hot metal is going to be better than the 919. So as ever, I'm going to hit Titleist Pro V1X on TrackMan. I'm going to hit 10 shots with each model. I'm going to talk about what MIzuno are claiming is different, and then we're going to look at some numbers on TrackMan and see, is that actually the case? So before I start hitting balls, if you're new down to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. In the last few months, I've really seen a pickup in views. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and hopefully I'm making content that's helping you with your games. If you do currently watch my videos though and you don't subscribe, please consider clicking the button below. Remember to ring the notification bell, and then when I post a new video, you'll find out and you can be one of the first to watch it. But for now, let's see if 921 hot metal does more than 919 hot metal as MIzuno claim. Right, so the 919 hot metal, really popular club, kind of definitely more in the game improvement area, but fairly strong loft, 7 iron, 30 degrees, big wide sole, thick top line. Certainly, you know, from the back looks very kind of classy. And when you pop it down behind the golf ball, you know, this looks like a club that should hit it a long way and be nice and forgiving. Big thick top line and quite a big blade length. So like I said, I'm going to hit 10 shots. We're going to look at kind of obviously carry distance, ball speed. I'll put club speed on there as well so we can see smash factor as to how efficient I kind of transfer energy from club to ball. But also I'm going to put landing angle, because I know these clubs don't necessarily create loads and loads of backspin because of the loft. But if the ball's going high enough and we've got a steep enough descent angle, should still be able to stop the ball. So like I said, I'm going to hit 10 shots with each club. So I'm going to start with the 919s. Okay, so 10 shots. There's definitely 2 or 3 of those a little bit towards the toe. So let's kind of just look at some average numbers, and I'll kind of show you on the miss hits kind of how it dropped maybe down and how much or little it dropped when I didn't get it out the middle of the club. Right, so if I look at the averages there, a lot of good strikes, maybe 2 or 3 just slightly towards the heel, but saw 177 carry. So 88 mile an hour club head speed, which is round about right for 7-iron with me, nearly 122 ball speed, so smash factor of 1.38 and a nice steep landing angle of 47.5. So I'm not going to talk about the spin too much on this one, but if it's not spinning loads, we've got that ability to stop the ball with height and descent angle. Now, if I do just look at some of those shots. So shot number 2 was a great example. So I hit it 15 millimeters out the toe, still got 116 mile an hour ball speed, still got out there at 168. So we look at one that was a good strike though. So a 7 mile an hour change in ball speed, obviously going a little bit further, therefore traveling a bit higher and landing a bit steeper. But all in all, some really, really good average numbers from 919. And for me, that's why it was such a popular golf club, particularly for guys who maybe wanted a little bit more distance, but also wanted that little bit more forgiveness. So we could see some really, really impressive results with 919 hot metal. And like I said, when we were looking at the numbers, that's why it was such a popular model. Now, with 921 coming out, I think you've always got the golfer who's very, very loyal to Mizuno, who loves the feel. You know, nothing feels like a Mizuno. But I always think if someone's bought 919s and been fitted correctly, is there a reason, a good enough reason for them to be looking to change to the next model along? So some of the things that Mizuno are claiming with 921 hot metal: improved ball speeds. Now, I would say with 7-iron, the loft on 919 was 30 degrees. The loft on 921's 29. So if we see more ball speed, is that just simply down to cranking the loft a little bit? Maybe. They're talking about a little bit more kind of forgiveness, particularly with the little toe strike. So it'll be interesting to see. Certainly, I think it was shot number 2 that I talked about there, how I saw a drop off of 7 mile an hour. It'll be interesting if I get a similar strike in here. Do we see a similar drop off, or like Mizuno claim, will we see less of a drop off? And we're also talking about a slightly improved feel. Now, my criticism really, and it's a picky one for me, is I don't love the hot metal in 919. I just felt it feels a little bit hard for a Mizuno iron. So let's go now, 921 hot metal, 10 shots again, and let's see, do those claims actually show up? Right, so let's talk about the first claim about feel before we look at numbers. Now, definitely for me, the 921 hot metal feels a little bit softer. I still don't think it feels soft, but for me, it wasn't noticeably as clicky off the face. So I'd say the first one that we look at there, does it feel softer? Yes, just. So let's look at numbers. Let's look at, did we see more ball speed? Did we see better landing angles into the green, which is going to give us a better opportunity to land the ball on the green and stop it quickly? So I would say strikes were fairly similar as an average, maybe a little bit tighter but toey with the 921 hot metal. So was ball speed up? So yes, we went from just under 122 to just under 125. Club head speed was almost identical. I was 88 dead. with the 919, 88.2 with the 921. We saw a big difference in carry at 185 over nearly 177. And what's interesting there is the ball was going further. Smash factor was higher, so I was definitely getting more ball speed for what I was putting in. But it was actually landing just that little bit flatter into the green, but still very, very good at 46 degrees. So there's that toey strike. So actually I saw the ball speed go up when I hit it a little bit out the toe. So, I mean, very, very impressive that the little toey strike, the ball speed actually went up. Had a couple that were maybe just a little bit low on the club face. That one particularly very, very low. So definitely for me, you know, we're seeing more ball speed, we're seeing better landing angles. Is it more accurate though? So when we look at the accuracy there, for me, nothing in it. And like I always talk about, I think accuracy is more down to me rather than the club. But from that testing, certainly the claims that Mizuno are making over 921 against 919, I would definitely agree that we see those improvements. Right then guys, so from that test, did we see more ball speed with 921? Yes, we did. Did we see better landing angles? Not quite, but I think they were close enough that, you know, I'm not going to pick about that, but we didn't see better landing angles. Did we see more forgiveness? So yes, definitely for me, that little toe strike, we saw a really, really quick ball speed with the 921, where we saw more of a drop off with the 919. And did it feel better? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very personal thing about feel. I preferred the feel of 921 over 919. So is it a better club? Yes, it is. Is it a good enough change that if you bought 919 just as it launched, so you've had it for 2 years, is it worth changing? I think that's always a tough one. I think there was a decent difference in distance. So I think if you're a golfer out there who really, really struggles for distance, potentially being that club longer might be a good reason for you to change. But I think a lot of guys out there that have got 919 hot metal, if they're changing, they're probably changing because their games have changed quite a lot and they don't need something maybe quite as forgiving, maybe want something slightly better looking sitting behind the golf ball. But is it worth changing? I think that's more your call. It's definitely a better club. It definitely ticks the boxes with what Mizuno are claiming. So if you are in the market for new clubs and you want something fast off the face, hitting it a long way that's nice and forgiving, the 921 hot metal from Mizuno is definitely something that you should consider. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed today's video and you don't currently subscribe, please consider hitting the button below, remembering to ring that notification bell, and then you'll find out when I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.